The biggest threat to your growth is that you are doing the wrong job in your business. I am Dr. Linette Montae, and if you are ready to grow bolder, profit faster, and scale smarter, let's get into it. This is the last video in the Get Paid series. I have been teaching the Get Paid formula for 10 years, and it has not changed at all because it is the key to scaling from where you are to where you want your business, your revenue, your life to be next. So let me say this. It is logical that you would listen to the video on the letter P first because paid is the acronym. However, this is the last video in the series where I am covering P because if you don't have the A, the I, and the D in place, what I'm going to tell you for P is not going to work. So if you have come to P believing this is the beginning, please stop this video and go watch the very first video in the series, which is the whole concept, the foundation of Get Paid. Start there before you watch A. Without further ado, let's get into P. The P stands for participate. It's all about you stepping into that CEO seat, putting on your crown, and being the visionary of your company. That means that other than the thing that you are brilliant at, that one thing that you are here on this earth to do and to deliver, outside of that, the only thing you need to be doing at this point is leading your company, being the visionary. That requires you to build relationships. That requires you to be out meeting people, networking, speaking, writing books, doing book signings, having events of your own, building partnerships. That is how you will scale. You can get to 7 figures alone, but once you reach 7 figures, you are going to need to build relationships that allow you to sustain and to scale. Sometimes those relationships will be affiliate relationships, referral relationships. That's an intentional strategy. Deciding that you want to allow people to promote your offers, your products, your services, that's intentional. You want to have a strategic referral program, not just willy-nilly, or you will get willy-nilly results. That could look like you're going to license or certify what you offer. That's intentional. It could be that you are going to bring on partnerships. That doesn't necessarily mean in the legal sense of partnership, but in the collaborative sense of partners. Who can you partner with that has your audience but does something different and complementary? Who can you partner with whose audience you have? You can collaborate to scale. Scaling is not just about more revenue. You can make more revenue, but also have more expenses. You can make more revenue, but also have more work. That's not scaling. So, what does partnering look like for you? Follow up is also part of that. How are you continuing to build and bridge relationships? Are you making connections for other people? Everything isn't just about you. When you get to this level in your business, who can you introduce to whom? Who can you connect so that they can build a relationship, so that they can collaborate? Can you be the connector? That's your job now. You are sitting on your throne, wearing your CEO crown, and your job is to be the visionary. Where is your company going next? What is it going to take to get there? Who do you need on your team to get you there? Who do you need in your corner to get you there? What type of coach or consultant, what type of expertise do you need to lead you there? All of that is your job under the P, which is participate. It could look like you building a bench. A bench is a little different than having team members. A bench is bringing additional people onto a project who have specific expertise. Because if you're scaling, maybe you've been working with individual entrepreneurs and you are interested in scaling into offering your services to corporate, but you may not have all the skills necessary to get government contracts or to approach a corporation to deliver your services or products. That's where a bench comes in. Go and identify other experts, not a team, other colleagues who are on the same level of expertise, but in a different lane. Bring them onto the project, onto the idea, so you can present a holistic solution, not just your piece of the solution. That's how you really ramp up your revenue and get paid for real. Who do you need to reach out to? Who do you need to meet? You're no longer focusing on just talking to your ideal client. You are now focusing your energy on talking to people who are on the same level as you or who are ahead of you. You're looking at what places you need to be hanging out that are not necessarily where your ideal client hangs out. See, you did that to get to profitable CEO level. Now you have people on your team to do that. You want to hang out in places where people have knowledge and skills that are above you so that you can glean from them to support you, to guide you, to give you evidence of where you're going next. Participate is mostly none of what you have been doing to get to this point. It's a totally different frame. It's a reframe of who you be, of what you do, and how you spend your time and energy. And guess what? Part of that reframe requires rest, more rest, requires self care, more self care, requires fun, requires joy. You have to understand that in order to get to the next level, you have to take care of you. If you watched video number one, I told you that it all really starts with your who, which is you. And so when you're focusing on this P, which is participate, this is not just about participating in the fires of your business, participating in the processes of the business. That's not your job anymore. You need to let that go. That's why you want to make sure that you watch video A, I, and D, because that's how you're going to let all that stuff go so that all of your time and energy is on participate. You are doing this to build a legacy. And building a legacy starts right now. It starts with what you are doing right now, not with what you're leaving, but how are you living? How are you showing up? That's the legacy. You're planting the seeds right now. And the seeds that you plant right now, when you are in the profitable CEO seat, are the seeds that matter because that's what they see you doing. Most of our children don't want our business because they've seen us hustle, grind, and work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week to get to this status. So, when do you show them something different? When do you show them what all this work you've done is really about? How are you giving back? How are you making a difference? How are you impacting the world? How are you impacting your industry? How are you influencing the current generation and the generations to come? If you haven't watched the other videos, you absolutely must, because there's no way for you to focus on making a difference, on impact, on influence. There's no way for you to focus on generational well being if you are still chasing bright, shiny objects, looking at easy buttons, putting out daily fires, and doing the things that profitable CEOs no longer do. If you found value in this final video, please be sure to subscribe, to comment, to share. I am Dr. Linette Montae, legacy influencer, profit strategist, and your guide to scaling smarter without busy work, burnout, or bottlenecks. Until next time, I invite you to live the legacy you want to leave.